Hey guys, I'm Chef Z and you're watching Made to Order a la Orden. Today we're making Asopao de Camarones, which is an awesome soup, stew, jambalaya kind of situation. It is made with seafood and it's also made with rice. It's one of those dishes that when you are low on funds, this thing can feed a village. Like, I'm not even kidding. You're gonna see just how far 1 cup of rice can go. And the best part about this recipe is just when you think you're done with this dish and then 2 more people come over for dinner that you weren't planning, guess what? You can add just a little bit more water and there you go. Problem solved. Let's go ahead and jump right into this recipe. In order to make this dish, we're going to be using a ton of fresh ingredients. Now, do keep in mind that some of these ingredients are optional. So if you don't like them or you can't find them, then it's totally okay to omit them and you can always freestyle this dish however you want. This is a dish I have all the time during the winter time, and I am known to have this in the summertime because yes, I'm crazy like that. Now, we're gonna start off by seasoning our shrimp with one of my favorite ingredients, which is a sour orange. And if you're not new here to my channel, then you know that if you can't find sour oranges out by you, then you can mix the juice of an orange with the juice of a lime or just use lime straight up. And afterwards, we're gonna make sure we don't get any pits in that, and then we're going to season the shrimp with a little bit of adobo, some black pepper, and we're going to mix everything together until it's well combined. And we're just going to kind of set that to the side, or you can place that in the refrigerator and it's just going to very lightly cure a bit. Now we're going to take those shrimp shells and we're going to add them into a pot along with some water because we're going to create a really nice and awesome shrimp stock, which is going to give this asopao some really awesome flavor. I do encourage you guys that while this is going off in a separate pot, you have some cinnamon with water or even some vinegar going just so that you kill those fishy smells. And I do have a video here on my channel just kind of breaking it down. Now we're going to start making the asopao by adding a little bit of oil, and we're going to start sauteing some onions. Now I'm using a variety of different onions just because I love white onions and red onions, but if you have one or the other, that will definitely do. The same thing with the peppers. I'm using some Cubanelle peppers and Ajicitios, but one or the other will also do, along with some garlic. And y'all know I love me some garlic in all of my dishes. We're going to saute that until they become nice and soft and transparent. And then we're going to add a little bit of pepper, some Dominican oregano, some sopita, which is a chicken bouillon cube, some sazon, and some tomato paste. And we're going to continue mixing that together until it's nice and well combined. And this will essentially create a really nice and awesome paste. And this is going to be a really good base of flavor along with the base of color for our dish. Now, we're also going to add some regular water and we're going to let that warm up. And then we're going to add some peas and carrots. Now, I'll be honest, I'm using some fresh carrots and some frozen peas along with some recao. And I pretty much say recao to mean culantro and cilantro. And as you can see here, I'm using both of them. And now we're going to add just 1 cup of rice, which I've pre-washed. And this is going to be really magical because you're going to see just how far 1 cup of rice goes. Now, I'm going to warn you right now that if you add more than 1 cup of rice, do use a larger pot because this is a dish that tends to grow and grow and grow. I did add some Auyama, and again, if you're not new to the channel, you know that I love squash, sweet potatoes, Auyama, and pumpkin, and I add it to almost every dish. And now we're going to take our shrimp stock, which has boiled and come nice hot to temperature, and we're going to add that into our asopao. Now, quick tip about this shrimp stock. We're adding a ton of it right now and it's essentially going to dry. I don't know if you saw it kind of peeking through. What I essentially do is I just add more water to that shrimp stock and I keep extracting as much flavor as I can from those shrimp shells. And then once that comes to temperature, I then add it into our asopao because we're essentially creating a really nice soup, almost like a gumbo. So the water is going to continue drying up, and as it does, we're going to want to lower the flame for a little bit because we don't want to burn the rice and we don't want the rice to stick to the bottom of the pot. Remember, we're not making con here. And as you'll see, the rice isn't exactly done right here. It's still a little grainy and I want it to become a lot softer. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more shrimp stock. And as I mentioned before, you definitely want to have that cinnamon boiling off to the side just to kill some of that fishy smell in your kitchen. Now you want to keep stirring and stirring, and you know your asopao is done when your rice is super soft and it's kind of bubbled up a little bit, just like you see here. I don't know how else to kind of explain it, but you'll know it's just really puffed up. And once it's nice and done and tender, we're now going to add the shrimp sour orange juice and all, or lime juice if you're using limes. And we're going to very gently just fold that into our asopao. Now remember, our asopao is cooking on a low flame. Shrimp cooks fairly quickly. So what I usually like to do, honestly, I just keep it on a super low flame, or I just turn it off and cover it with the lid. And the steam and the vapor from the asopao is going to continue cooking the shrimp. And you know your shrimp is cooked when it's nice and pink and it's kind of tightened up a little bit, but you definitely don't want to overcook it, and you want to add it at the very end. Now, I love having this dish with a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of tostones, and even some avocados on the side. So there you guys have it, my recipe for some asopao. If you have any questions, visit my website, which by the way, I am launching an all new website, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. Shout me out on social media. Have a great and safe holidays, and I can't wait to see you guys next week with an all new video. Buen provecho, guys.